It's Matt Mccourt one more time to let you know that I've been recording like a madman since this summer. And let's recap what I've done so far. So the first one was Alien Camouflage. They're all done by the Ravers, except for the Blues album, which I'll get to. So with the Ravers, I released Alien Camouflage. And the cover, I do all the covers myself. I do everything myself. But I created the cover because it's a pair of pants, actually. And I took a picture of it and superimposed an alien face. I love Resident Alien. And I have a connection. And that's the cover, Alien Camouflage, because, you know, they hide in plain sight. That's got some great songs, especially it's all started off with a song called Spreading the Disease, and that means spreading the disease of happiness. I know that sounds pretty hippie, but I'm a hippie. And I like that song. Then I recorded Midnight Afternoon, and the title came from what I thought I heard on an Oasis line in a song, Midnight Afternoon. That sounds like I understand that. And it has my cat, Misha. I imposed his face onto the moon. And he's looking down like he's the cat god from the heavens. And I like that cover too. And people think it'd be a great t-shirt. But the third one was heavy metal rock and roll, because somebody said, you got to play more heavy songs. And I had a song called Heavy Metal Rock and Roll, which I wrote before I joined Wild Dogs. I wrote that about the same time as I wrote Born to Rock, which was for the Ravers also. A lot of the early Wild Dog songs were actually destined for the second Ravers album, which never happened back then. And so Heavy Metal Rock and Roll has got a picture of a show I played with my 1998 Wild Dogs lineup, and that's with Dawkins and Great White. And the girls in the front row don't have any tops on, but you probably can't see that. I could see that real good. They were so friendly and so nice and gorgeous. In fact, a week after we played with Great White, I went to a Queensryche concert with this kid who had never been to a concert, and they said, ask Matt, and he'll go. He worked at the college that I did. So I went, and we're walking out, and this limo pulls up, and this beautiful woman gets out of the limo, and she's got this long, kind of loose dress that's kind of tied on, and she yells, Matt! And comes up and gives me a huge hug and a kiss, and this kid, who was pretty green, he's looking at me like, wow. And she was the girl that was in the front row at the Dawkins show. We hung out with them in the dressing room after our gig. And but that's the picture on that cover. That was my normal show at the time. That picture pretty much summed up every concert I performed at for a long time. And then next, what do we have? I decided to do a blues album called The Heavy Metal Matt Mccourt's. It's a long title, but I designed the name for a search engine, and I put two other albums out under the same. Matt McCourt's Psychedelic Heavy Metal Blues Experience. And this one's called My Own Kind of Mojo, and it's got some of the songs are funny. Like, there's one song called Wrong Kind of Woman, and she's a wrong kind of woman, but she might be right for you. And I play guitar on everything. I do everything. I sing, I play bass, I play keyboards, I play string on the keyboards, I play piano. And I'm the blues. I've been doing blues since I started playing. And I've been playing since I was 7. I started playing drums at age 5, and I do that every day for exercise. But let's see, what's next? Oh, the next one is Psychedelic Sunday. And that's when I got into AI art. It's a combination of using things I made in AI and then putting those components together with Photoshop. So we kept passing. Every Sunday we'd go have pizza and then go to the grocery store. And we passed this ice cream place that had this picture of a really delicious looking strawberry sundae. And strawberry sundae was actually the original name that I came up with. But once I started making these pictures, I thought Psychedelic Sunday, it kind of sounds cool. Why not? I've done enough psychedelics to compete with the best of the 60s, and it was really great stuff. We used to get this LSD, this LSD on blotter paper from guys at Reed College, and Reed College is like the Brainiac College in Portland, Oregon, and that stuff would take you places you have never been before, and that was pretty much me from age 14 to age 20. So that's that. That's got some good songs on it. And then I'm moving right along. And I figured since the songs are coming, why stop? Because, nobody's going to get rich. Nobody's going to get a Grammy for this stuff. I just keep writing. Like, I learned a lot from art history. And my significant other for the last 30 years, she's an art major, an art history major. And so I would tag along to all these things. And I realized that the artists that we think are the great artists, that, their paintings go for millions of dollars, they made no money while they were alive. They all died broke. Monet was like the only guy who actually made prints of his work and made a little cash that way. But nobody got famous or made any money until after they were dead. And like with Van Gogh, it was his brother, who was an art dealer, who made him famous and made the art valuable. So I took that into account back in 2002 on a trip to Amsterdam while recording with the Mccourt bass player, Steve Roy. That studio, that was wild, man. They had a 412 Marshall combo. It was a Marshall combo in a 412 cabinet. I mean, it was manufactured that way. I saw amps that, first time to Europe, I saw Marshall amps I had never even heard about. Anyway, it was at a farm, and they had sheep out in the field, and sheep shit smells. And in the barn, we walked over, there's all these dead rabbits hanging from the ceiling. I don't know, curing? I don't know. I don't skin out animals. So we recorded there. Anyway, I came up with the idea because Alan Wrench, Steve was there touring with a group called Kill Alan Wrench, who is supposedly the guy that killed Kurt Cobain, but that's a bullshit story. They just did that for publicity. So he said, hey, you're an art guy. Come with me. And he took me to Herman Brood's art studio where he lived, which was above a bar. And we're walking down the street, and it's downtown Amsterdam. And we get closer to this place, and this guy comes out of the door, and it looks just like Bono. And I'm always joking, and I always joke, hey, that's Stephen King over there, and when it's really not. Or, hey, look, it's, some movie star. And so I elbow Alan and say, hey, that was Bono. And we go into the place and up the stairs, this windy little tight circle stair thing. And the manager, the guy that owns and operates this place, has become an arc already. You see, Herman Brood had committed suicide a year previously by jumping out a window of a building in downtown Amsterdam. And he said, this little guy looked just like Dieter. Remember when Mike Myers played Dieter on Saturday Night Live? Turtleneck, skinny, little round glasses, short hair, black clothes. Oh, it's a good thing you came now. Bono has been staying here for the past 3 days and just left a moment ago. He said, you probably passed him on the way out. And I elbowed Al and I go, yeah, it was him. So I realized you could see his artwork. It was all put in chronological order on the wall. And you could see the demise, his mental demise. Started out as a regular artist and keeps going. And by the time he had done himself in, they're basically just ink dropped onto paper. Alan bought $10,000 worth of prints. And this manager guy, when he wrote them the check, he just threw in a couple of these ancient heroin syringes that are metal. He was a junkie, and he was a jazz musician, kind of like Tom Waits, he said. And he had a Herman Brood and the New Romantics. And I thought, wow, I would never even know about this guy if there was not a large body of work. So I thought, I'm going to leave a large body of work to go along with my now not so large body. And that's why I keep recording, because when inspiration hits, now I've got people sending me drum tracks they record in the studio, and then I just write songs to the drum track. And it keeps me busy. It keeps me out of the streets. But where was I? Oh, yeah. Mental pollution. Facebook has become just a cesspool of crap. It was good in 2009 when I started, and it really just got a hold. I got on there so I could get in touch with people from Europe, and Neil Turbin, the singer, the original singer from Anthrax, is the guy who pushed me to get on Facebook. And he said, yeah, they got a messenger, you can video call people, and so I did. And then all the local people got a hold of me and ruined it. And then the politics came in, and now that it's gone this way, it's really bad. So I'm on 22 other social media sites, and I don't tell a lot of people on Facebook because I don't want those to go bad either. But so that's where I came up with the idea of mental pollution. So much crap on TV. And so I started coming up with ideas and would make a picture of something with the AI generator. The AI generator doesn't make the whole picture. I make components like the guy sitting in the chair is actually originally has a dog head. And I made a picture of a brain, and then I made a picture of a giant TV, and a picture that's on the TV I made, and then I put them all together, and the song Mental Pollution is kind of good. The whole album is more going heavy. So the next one, I thought, hey, I like this going heavier and faster. So now I've recorded 27 songs for 3 albums, and they're fast, they're more hard hitting, and the whole thing with the ravers is I've gotten sent so many CDs to review, and I don't review. I hate reviews. They're worthless. people just do that so they can get free CDs, and I don't do that. But I got tired of having to wait about a minute before the singing starts. So I started thinking, well, I'll cut out the intros. I'll cut out the boring, sorry guitar players, the boring lead guitar part that's part and parcel of everything, and do a whole new style of music where there is none of that. There's lead guitar, but it augments the singing, and it's not, I'm not here to wow you with my guitar. I'm here to rock your butt off. So that's the whole thing about the ravers. It's stripped down, verse and chorus, and sometimes there's a third part, the all too famous third part. And so I've got 3 albums worth of material. The first one is going to be called The Curse of the Wild Dogs. And that name came up because when I came back out to play in 1998, I tried to call the band Evil Genius, tried to start something new. But we got booked with Dokken and Great White, and the promoters said, come down and get your posters. I go down there, and there's these gigantic posters, and our name is Wild Dogs. I go, that's not the name I'm using. They go, you are the Wild Dogs. Without you, there would be no band. Nobody would even remember you. And they think it's a big draw, which, of course, it turns out it's not really. So I said, but I've made these backdrops for the Evil Genius. We've been on TV with them. And said, tough. You're going to play this gig as Wild Dogs. I thought, okay. Why fight it? They ended up booking us quite a few times for national shows. And I just didn't fight it. The promoters in Germany, no, you got to be Wild Dogs, man. People like the Wild Dogs, or they won't know who you are. Okay. So I decided I will change this when I start making records now. And I'll make so many records, so many albums, you can't help but notice it's me. So I thought, how can I tie this together? Hey, The Curse of the Wild Dogs. And the cover I made in an AI generator. And here it is. It's kind of like me in the 80s. So I've got 3 covers, and I think the next one might be because of this. It's all kind of, humor runs through it. And it might be called The Reign of Dr. Mastermind. And they're all going to be like comic book movie, horror movie posters in that style. I call them the Trilogy of Terror. But it's fun. I love it. And there's some great songs. And I play guitar. I'm trying to hook up with DiMarzio again, which I was an artist endorser back in the 80s right after Dr. Mastermind. Because I've got a few guitars, like this one here, Ibanez. It's the pickups that came in were horrible. And I put a DiMarzio Super Distortion 2 in there, which I had laying around from I bought it used a while ago. But there's too much high end. I'm starting to get really fanatic about too much high end Bruins. It turns people off. I learned a lot about that from Noel Gallagher, who said, no, man, if you're going to play loud, and Lemmy, too, he told me this, you got to turn the high end down because it can be loud as hell, but it won't hurt people's ears. And I thought, yeah, if you've ever experienced a Motorhead concert, you know that your body is sonically assaulted by the sound waves, but not your ears. They don't hurt or ring after you're done listening to, if done at a Motorhead concert. I saw Motorhead the first time in 1981 at the Old Waldorf in San Francisco. I took Mick Zane and my friend Kip Dorn, the guitar player from Evil Genius, who weren't really into Motorhead. I was really into Motorhead. Pig Champion from Poison Idea turned me on to Motorhead and the Mentors the same day, back like in 1979. And I thought, I love that bass sound. That's my bass sound. I love it. And so we were at a concert on July 4th at the Old Waldorf. The Squeeze and G.E. Smith, member of Saturday Night Live. He was the band leader. And there's a cardboard sign that said Metal Monday, Motorhead. And I thought, we got to come back here for that one. So we did. I didn't drink, I didn't do anything, but the music made me high. And it really just knocked me out, man, to hear them live in a club. It wasn't huge. The Old Waldorf was not gigantic, cavernous. The sound was really great. And the band that opened up was called Ranger, which eventually became Night Ranger. And the sound man for the night was Ronnie Montrose. And Kip was roommates with Eric Martin and Bill Church, the bass player for Montrose and Sammy Hagar. And Bill was the monitor or the lighting guy. So it's pretty cool, but they really knocked me out. I digress. I talked Motorhead, and the best time I had ever doing my TV show for U.S. Metal TV and Living Room Concert Hall was shooting Motorhead 2 times in 1998 and 1999. Got to interview Lemmy, and Mickey D had done a lot of clinics for Sonar drums with Dean, and so he knew Dean quite well. And the other guy told him, well, Matt's a bass player, singer. And he goes, oh, you are? I go, yeah. And I go, how do you keep, what kind of pickups do you use? Because Rickenbacker pickups squeal like crazy. He goes, oh, they're just shit. You got to put new ones in. He has a guy go get his bass, which was a brand new Lemmy Kilmeister signature model. They just came out. It was brand new, and so I'm playing it. And he goes, let's go upstairs and plug it in. We were in the basement of the Roseland Theater. We go up to the sound check. He plugs it in, kind of dials in, plays a little bit, and says, here, and hands it to me. And I'm like, if you're a Christian, it'd be like walking in Jesus' shoes, I think. But the first thing that comes to mind is I start doing the opening chord, opening of Ace of Spades. And he grabs the neck and goes, no, anything but that song. And the drum tech, Vito DeVito, had played in a band with Kurt James. They all knew back Dr. Mastermind. And he knew the album. So I started playing the Villa on bass, which Lemmy thought was pretty cool. And he played along. And so I go, how's that? He goes, yeah. You're all right, man. Said that a couple times that night. I hand him back his bass and do the show. That was great. We interviewed him and told me stories about Hendrix and the Beatles and the 60s in London, which are my favorite time of music. And so we're at the show's over. We're back in the dressing room, and the clown prince from this band called Monkey Fur is standing in front of me here, and he's saying, Matt, you should get Lemmy to sign your pass, my laminate that I had for video. And I said, man, I don't want to bother him. There's so many people asking him for that. And the guy, I heard so many great stories about my favorite time of music and my favorite bands. He had great stories. I don't want to bug him. I feel this arm coming around me. from behind. And he pulls me in and says, "You're all right, man." Grabs my pass, pulls the pen out, signs it, and I just got the biggest goosebump rush ever. They looked at me, and with a big smile, I thought, wow, this is the best day I've ever had with music. And I still remember it like it was yesterday. It was 1999. But anyway, Lemmy and Motorhead have always inspired me. In fact, on the Wild Dogs' second album, Man's Best Friend, I wanted to do a cover of Ace of Spades. And the guys in the band said, "No, we don't like Motorhead. They're crap. We don't want to do that." I go, okay. I went home and wrote a song almost identical to Ace of Spades. Brought it the next day. I said, "How about this one?" And he goes, that's brilliant. That's a great song. Worked it out, finished it. Became a song called "I Want You to Believe in Me," which was kind of a in-joke stab at those guys. It was identical to Ace of Spades in many ways. I never told them. But the songs are now more punk rock, more Motorhead punk rock, with some Judas Priest kind of feel to them, and I hope you like it. The Ravers is me. And, yeah, I got some crazy clothes, and it's fun. I'm just tired of wearing black all the time. Too much. It's none more black. Hey, Spinal Tap's, the second movie is coming out pretty soon. That'll be great. I love Spinal Tap. So, and I love Resident Alien with Alan Tudyk and Sarah Tomko. And I don't know what else I can say except for remember, DiMarzio rocks the world. Have a nice day. Have a good weekend. And remember to keep your tank full. I'm not talking about gas economics. Just keep your tank full. And if you're having a birthday, keep having birthdays. That's how you get older.
You know what you need, ain't late to read. Know your purpose, but you don't know